Good evening, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. What a great day we had out there today. Temperatures warmed up very nicely. We were close to 70 degrees for a high today. We officially topped off at 69 degrees here this afternoon. Our morning low was on the cool side in the lower 40s, and then it warmed up nicely. And we're going to have a really similar day here for tomorrow. This is what we're going to be watching, the 70s return. We're going to see a high tomorrow right at about 70 degrees, and then going into Tuesday, even just a little bit warmer, with these temperatures trending about 10, 12 degrees above the average. And it's going to be mainly dry for the rest of the week. The only thing we're watching is a system coming in on Thursday that has really limited moisture with it. As of right now, we're going with just a 20% chance for a shower here on Thursday. Behind that system, we'll have a few more clouds with it, just that limited moisture with this next system moving in. But behind that, it is going to cool down a little bit later in the week, but only by a little bit. We're really just going to be getting back closer to average with temperatures in the lower 60s here by the end of the week. So here's what we've been watching out there on our satellite and radar. Nothing really happening here at all, as we have not only no rain around, but also clear skies. You can see around North Georgia, just a couple little clouds trying to fly into North Georgia. Most of those are falling apart. Here in Atlanta, mainly clear, and as we widen out just a little bit more, you'll see here the only rain that we were watching today was mainly here in parts of southeast Georgia along the coast. A few more of those showers down into Florida. We'll take you in a little bit tighter there so you can see some of those down into Florida. That's where it's really the wettest, but all of that moisture is going to stay down to the south of us. That's not moving our way. We're just going to see a couple of these clouds kind of floating through, some overnight and early in the morning, but for the most part, tomorrow is going to be another really nice day here in our area. Let's take a full look at this right now so you can see what we're watching out there right now. There's that moisture that you see down in Florida. The other thing that we're keeping an eye on here is the pollen count. Now, this is a low number. Well, it's actually the moderate range. 19 is our pollen count for today. This is from Atlanta Allergy and Asthma for today's date. And 19 is a pretty low number, but it's still just up into the moderate range, and it's mainly from trees. The contributors that we have here for the pollen count are elm, juniper, unident tree. That's a new one on me. I don't see them using that one very much here, but unident tree is one of the pollen producers, as well as pine and alder. The grasses are low, weeds are low, and the mold is also low. So again, 19, not that big of a number unless you are allergic to these trees, and you might be feeling it, even though that's a low count. Now, the reason I'm showing this to you now is because with these warm temperatures this week, I really think we're going to see these numbers starting to climb a little bit. Now, again, our peak is usually not until the end of March and beginning of April. And that's when we have pollen counts in the thousands. And that's when your car is covered, your outdoor furniture is covered, when everything is covered in pollen. Usually there the last week of March and beginning of April. A lot of times for spring break week, that's when the pollen is worst here in Atlanta, and why it's a good idea to get out of town for spring break week. But so I'm just going to want to compare this number that we have today to the numbers later on this week, because I really think this is going to rise just a little bit more. We're still having mild mornings though, so that might suppress a little bit of that pollen production as well. So we'll keep an eye on that for you over the next few days. Now, here's that high today. 69 degrees. Our low this morning was 42, so we should be around 60 for this time of year. So that 69 degree temperature, 9 degrees warmer than average. Tomorrow will be about 10 degrees warmer than average, and then going into Wednesday, maybe about 12, 13 degrees warmer than average, as we're going to hang in those lower 70s. The morning low pretty close to where we should be, right there at 41. The other thing I want you to notice here on the Almanac is that we did have a surplus of rainfall after we had all of that rain over the past few little phases that came on through here. But now we are back to a deficit at 0.09 of an inch below where we should be for this time of year. That deficit is going to grow really over the next few days and into next week, because we're not really expecting much in the form of rain coming in. Again, a really low risk for a couple of showers on Thursday. That rain chance is only at about 20%. And then the beginning of next week, another chance for showers, but as of right now, that one doesn't look that impressive either. Another thing here, the sunset, 6:30 tonight. those sunsets are getting a little bit later and later every single day. So looking pretty nice. Now, when you're looking at the almanac of that high and low, you can see the low was early this morning here, actually at 5 o'clock in the morning when it was 42 degrees. And then you'll see here the highest numbers on here. These are the hourly temperatures recorded at 3, 4, 5 o'clock, showing 67 degrees, but it actually bumped up to 69 in between these hourlies. That's when we had those high temperatures, and that was really between the 4 and 5 o'clock hour when it bumped up just a little bit there. So take a look at the temperatures right now. It is still mild at this time of night. We're talking about 58 here in town. Lower 50s in Duluth. We do have 50 in Covington. Even Peachtree City and LaGrange are in the upper 40s at this hour, right at 49 degrees. Up to the north, still mainly mid-50s. We have a few of those 40s, though, in Clayton, Blairsville, Dalton, and also into Rome. Take a look at these temperatures. Right now, we're trending about 10 degrees milder than we were in the 9 o'clock hour last night. That's here in Atlanta. Also, Canton and Gainesville, you're about 10 degrees warmer than it was 24 hours ago. So that just shows you that trend that we've been telling you about, these temperatures moving up a little bit each and every day. And here's how it's going to be looking tomorrow. We start off with those temperatures that'll be in the lower 40s, right at about 43 degrees, and then warming quickly through the morning hours. It'll be 49 at 9 o'clock and then 59 at 11 o'clock. Continuing to climb, topping off at 70 in the afternoon, and then coming back down to those mid-60s once we get to 7 o'clock at night. There's really not a lot to show you here on the forecast track for the next couple of days. I'm going to advance through this, but again, not really a lot to show here, as we're going to see just the wind directions changing a little bit. As we see tomorrow, more of a northwesterly and westerly flow. That is going to be a dry flow that's going to be moving in, and even though it's not a sharp, northwesterly flow here, it's more mainly westerly, and it's also going to be still contributing to our temperatures that are going to be above the average. Mainly sunny here for your Tuesday. On Wednesday, we start off in the 50s once again for the early morning hours with mostly sunny skies. There you see a shift in the wind. Wednesday afternoon, more of a southerly flow, keeping us in those lower 70s. Some spots on the south side may even get into the mid-70s here on Wednesday. Thursday is the day we're going to see some changes moving in, and we're going to see limited moisture with this next front that's going to be pushing through. I do think it'll give us a few more clouds around. You'll see some of those to start the day on Thursday, and clouds gradually building in just a little bit more. Here is that system, though, that's going to be pushing our way late afternoon and into the early evening hours. And again, I mentioned the next system has very limited moisture with it. You can see here just a little bit up in North Georgia sweeping through late afternoon into the early evening hours, maybe giving us just a little bit of rain. But again, that rain chance is only at 20%. And this is another look at what we're watching with the availability of moisture pushing in with that system. On our moisture map, the purple colors, the purples and blues that you see here, indicate the really dry air. When those colors start to lighten up a little bit, turning yellow, orange, and also the reds there, that's when there's a little more moisture. So just a little bit of moisture there with the yellows of those lighter colors and the blues pushing into Florida. But notice how it stays dry here for Tuesday as well as on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, all right, I'm talking about the limited moisture. This little system kind of sweeps through pretty quickly here, with just a little bit more moisture, and that's just that 20% chance for a shower. But behind it, look how the drier air slides in here once again, and that reinforces the end of the week being dry. And also with that drier air, it's also going to cool down just a little bit. The purple color stays with us through the weekend, still very dry here Saturday and Sunday. Once we get into Monday, notice the colors lightening up just a little bit. That's just some additional moisture that's going to start moving in. So on Tuesday, we are going to go with just a 20% chance for a shower again. And we'll wait and see how, that's for Monday, how Tuesday develops with any additional moisture that can move in to see if our rain chances go up anymore. But this is all we have right now. No rain Tuesday, Wednesday, but on Thursday, 20% chance for a shower. Friday and Saturday look to be dry. Sunday's also dry, and then Monday we're back to about a 20% chance for a shower. So mainly a really dry pattern moving in. And mainly warm the next couple of days. And here is that warmer air that continues to push in through the daytime hours tomorrow as well as into Wednesday. That colder air goes back up toward the north. Here's that warmer air pushing our way. Tuesday around 70, 72, 73 degrees here on Wednesday is that warmer air kind of just like right on top of us. Then on Thursday, that's when that next system moves in with that limited moisture. It does have some slightly cooler air. So on Thursday, we're going to be in the 60s. Friday, lower 60s, right at about 62 degrees for a high on Friday. So that just shows a brief little cool down, not frigid, not cold or anything, just a little cooler for your Thursday and then mainly into Friday. Then that moves away. That gives us an opportunity to warm up again on your Saturday. We'll have temperatures in the upper 60s, we're thinking, on Saturday with mostly sunny skies. And then again, going into your Sunday, again, temperatures will be in the 60s there too. Low temperatures, here's how they're looking here. 43 for a low Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday a little milder thanks to that additional cloud cover that's going to be moving in. So it won't, that cloud cover will hold in some of the warmth and it won't have radiational cooling. It won't be really cold here on Thursday morning. Then Friday and Saturday, as that cooler air moves in, we'll see those lows going back into the 40s. And then look at these high temperatures. There you see 71 Tuesday, 72 Wednesday. May even bump that up a little bit once we get a little more confident about that warmer air pushing in for your Wednesday and how much I do think we'll see mostly sunny skies there. Then you see we go down to 67 Thursday with not as much sunshine. Friday 62, behind that system, it cools down a little bit. And then Saturday, we're back to 68 with dry weather. I think it's going to be a pretty nice weekend. Here's a look at the European model. This will show you those two systems that will give us the potential for a little bit of rain through the extended period. Wednesday dry, Thursday, there you go. See that moving through, really kind of breaking up as it moves through our area based on this model here. And then the clouds move out. Friday is dry. Saturday also looking pretty good. Dry weather, temperatures climbing back up into the upper 60s here on Saturday. And then as you go into Sunday, maybe a couple of more clouds around, still a comfortable day. Monday, we'll watch this system that will ride in. I really think that most of the moisture on Monday will be more out into Alabama and into Mississippi. But we will introduce a 20% chance for a shower here on Monday. And then we'll wait to see how that develops and if that's going to be pushing in here for your Tuesday to give us even maybe a little better chance for Tuesday. So that's something that we'll be keeping an eye on with that. So here is your 7-day outlook, and we will watch those temperatures as they continue to climb here through the next couple of days. We will see those temperatures that are going to be generally holding there in around 71 on Tuesday, 72 on Wednesday, 67 on Thursday. It comes down just a little bit. And then Friday, 62. So that'll be the coolest day with those temperatures there, really just a couple of degrees above where we should be for this time of year. Then on Saturday, as well as on Sunday, generally there around 68 Saturday, 66 Sunday, so still trending above the average. Monday, we come down just a little bit to about 63 degrees, and there's that 20% chance for a shower that will be coming back here moving into the beginning of next week. And we'll keep an eye in for next Tuesday as well, just to see if those weather conditions look to stay a little bit wetter here for your Tuesday. So a lot to watch here. So just beware of those temperatures, the ups and downs that we're talking about, above average Tuesday and Wednesday, and also on Thursday, closer to average Friday, still above average Saturday, Sunday, a little closer to average here on Monday. And the rain chances are not that impressive really at all. We're just going to see a 20% chance Thursday, 20% chance on Monday. But as you know, we'll keep an eye on this and the moisture content in the air with it. And sometimes we tweak those percentages a little bit. Earlier, it looked like Thursday was going to have more moisture, but we've now brought that down to 20% because now that moisture content just doesn't look that impressive as the system's going to be rolling through. So enjoy the warmer than average temperatures. Remember that pollen count is 19 right now. but I'm going to be really interested to see what happens now that we're going to have this warmer air for the next few days, and the rain chances that aren't going to be that impressive here for Thursday. That would, even if we do have any little showers on Thursday, it probably isn't going to be enough to wash out a lot of pollen. So it'll be interesting to watch that pollen count rise this week. Be sure to watch 11 Alive News tonight at 11 Alive for more updates in the 7-Day Outlook.